Hi, I'm Queen Melchio Ballesta, a BSCS1 student, and for today I'm going to talk about data privacy. The content of today's presentation would be the definition of data privacy, how they are using our data, and how to ensure data privacy. But before anything else, let us first answer this question. Do you use social media? If yes, then you are part of the 93% of Filipinos that uses social media. Yes, 93% of our country uses social media. What is even more shocking is that as of 2019, we are the country that spends most time online. Considering that our internet speed isn't even the fastest, we could only imagine how much more time we will spend with less lag and better speed. So, most social media applications are free, from Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. These apps are readily available and accessible without charge. But we must remember that social media application costs money to maintain and constantly repair. So to be able to do that, they need money to fund the application and to profit. But if so, then why are apps free? Or we should change that question. Are apps really free? Before we answer that question, let us first define data privacy. In order to understand the terms better, let us break it down. So, data and privacy. So, data. What comes to your mind when you think about data? Well, there may be a lot of things. But in the context of data privacy, data is any stored or processed information that we input to a social application. While this may include subconscious and conscious informations like pages we like, the images we like, and pages we follow. So, we also have privacy, which is defined as the right to be free from prying eyes. Meaning, we have the power to control our data and to choose the ones we like to share. So, when we combine these terms, we have data privacy, which when we combine means the right to control our data and to be free from prying eyes. So, let's go back to the question. Why is it free? Well, all of this is because of data. As what Mark Cuban said, data is the new gold, it's the new oil, it's the new plastic. From this alone, we could only imagine how important data really is. So, if data is that valuable, how do they profit from it? How do they turn our data into something valuable like gold, oil, or plastic? Well, they may either sell it or use it. So, to further explain it, we'll have here situational examples. So, in terms of selling our data, in here we have Lawin Corporation. Basically, Lawin Corporation is a traditional business that sells anything. Unfortunately, after being on the business for 10 years, they noticed a decline of sales and income. So, as any businessman would, they had a meeting and talked about plans in order to boost their current situation. In order to solve their problem, they came up with the important key questions to answer before doing something, so that their actions would be actually aligned to what people want, their demographic, and the current customers. So in order to know the answers to that questions, they need to have the data, the numbers of these people. So they thought about the most efficient way of gathering this data instead of your traditional ones like maybe having a survey and actually gathering the data themselves. They noticed that most people in their town uses TikTok, and they thought about contacting that application in order to buy the data that they need. So Lawin Corporation did contact TikTok, and they reached an agreement about the data that Lawin Co needs. So at the most basic level, this is one of the ways they may sell our data. On the other hand, they may also sell our data from using it. So these are one of the many ways they may profit from our data. So in here we have JP Online, which is an online store that uses Facebook to show their ads. Because JP Online is a store for girls and a store specifically for ages 18 to 30, the owners of JP Online can set their ads to be specifically shown to girls with ages of 18 to 30. And that's how apps profit from our data. So now that we've known what data is and how they use it, we may wonder why data is important and why would we even care whether they know our age bracket, our gender, our food preference, or maybe even the list of people we constantly stalk online. So, data privacy is important because as the owner of this data, we should have the power to choose when and what specific information we should give people away. And if we would even like to let these people know about the information that we have. So think of it this way. Would you like to live in a house of glass? Just imagine being uncomfortable knowing that anyone at any point of time could have been looking at you through the windows. That would feel like walking around naked. Data privacy is a right, and we should have the freedom and power to hold over our data. So, how do we ensure data privacy? Well, there are three things to remember. So, first, we should be mindful of the applications that we use. Not all social media applications are created equal. We should research thoroughly about the apps that we use. We should check whether it has a good or bad reputation in terms of handling our data. If not, then we should probably ask ourselves if we really need to use that app or if there are any alternatives. But if it's really necessary and we have no choice, then let us be more sensitive on the data that we share. Secondly, we should not agree on any terms if we haven't read it yet. Yes, I know the terms may be too long, and sometimes we just don't want to deal about that stuff. But then again, that agreement is a contract. It's important because it includes how they handle our data, so we should read it first before accepting the terms. Lastly, is to check the app setting. This is important because some apps have the setting to change how they manage our data and how they collect our data. So it's very important to check it out. We've now learned about data privacy, what it is, and how to ensure it. So, this has been Queen Ivy Melchio Ballesta, and have a great day.